Hello everyone, welcome to another one of our training videos for the 2020 general election, this one being our electronic pollbook training. I'm Colin, I'm going to be teaching the class today. I'm the senior Democratic clerk. My counterpart for the Republicans, Kelly Fusco, is being my camera woman today. So she's behind the camera doing all the actual difficult part of it. The electronic pollbook, they are pretty new, so everybody probably needs at least a refresher. So, when you get it there on election day, you will have your electronic pollbook. It'll come in a big case like this. It'll be in the machine. So you're going to get it out of your machine. You are going to open up your case, and it should look something like this. You're going to have your e-pollbook, your styluses, your microfiber cloth. If you take the electronic pollbook out, you will see that there's also a power strip, power cord. For the purpose of the demonstration, we're just going to leave the power strip in there. You're going to take the cord out. You're going to set up the power strip. You are going to, plug the cord into the power strip. Move that off to the side somewhere. Take your e-pollbook, open it up, and over on this side here, you're going to have a space where you're going to plug your e-pollbook in, and at that point, it should automatically power on. However, because our power strip and our power cord aren't actually attached to a power source, they're not powering anything, I'm going to show you the other option you have for turning it on. Over on the other side, there's a small power button. I'm just going to hold it down. And as you hold it down, it should power on. For those of you who are familiar with iPads, you'll just power it on. It's just the same as an iPad. Alright, we're going to wait for this to power on, and then we will get into really the full usage of the electronic pollbook. Alright, so once you get it powered on, you're going to have an arrow pointing down to an icon here. You're going to tap on the icon, and that'll bring you to the start screen. Just some things to look at on the start screen here. Down on the bottom we have check-ins. For you at the beginning of the day, it should read 0 because you shouldn't have processed any voters. So just check and make sure it reads 0. If it doesn't, please give us a call. We're down in our vault today, so there's not really any internet service, but if there was, and what you should have on election day, there should be a green Wi-Fi fan symbol here instead of this broken heart. If you ever do have the broken heart on election day, just tap it. Should force it out to pair through the internet. Unfortunately, again, we're down in our concrete bunkered vault, so we don't really get that. Starting your election, you're going to hit the start button. Just remember that green always means go for the electronic pollbook. So whenever you're stuck with something, just remember to follow the green path. You're going to sign in at the beginning of the day. Please remember to do this. We got a couple of people who didn't do it until their first voter showed up, and lo and behold, the inspector that was signed in for the day was actually the voter. So we're going to sign in a hypothetical voter of John Smith. Continue. For the purpose of this class, we are going to use Gavin Park. It's configured for the primary, so it's using all of Gavin Park. On election day, you wouldn't actually have to do that because it would already be configured for the election district you're assigned to. So this is our home screen. Up top here, you've got your settings. Unless you're working early voting, you shouldn't really need to worry about settings. Over here, you've got your menu. We'll go a little bit more into what the menu does in a little bit. This bottom portion shouldn't have changed. It should be reading your election district, all of that. Check-ins shouldn't have changed. Check-ins will change once somebody is actually signed in. Got a big red button, polling site lookup. That's for if someone doesn't know where they're supposed to be, but they know they're not supposed to be there. And then you've got a big green button for voter search. Again, the green button means go in this case. So we're going to tap on the green button, and we're going to have the different options for searching for a voter. What we recommend using, at least to start, is last name and first name using the first 3 letters of the first name and the first 3 letters of the last name. The other options being last name and house number, last name and birth year, and address search. While you certainly can use those options, we definitely recommend starting with the first three approach. So let's look up myself. P-A-L, first name, C-O-L, and search because green means go. So, here on the screen we have Colin Palumbo, 6 Anyhow Lane. That is me, but I early voted because, you know, I'm working on election day. I can't really get to the polling place. So, in this case, you would tell me, sir, you already early voted. You are not eligible to vote again. If I had any complaints at that point, I could vote by affidavit. I could do things like that. So, once you're done telling me that I need to take it up with the Board of Elections if I really have a problem with it, you're just going to process the next voter, and process the next voter will take you back to the home screen. So we are going to continue searching for voters. We are going to look up someone I happen to know would be voting at Gavin Park because she's my mom. First name, nope, backspace. We've got Susan Moore Palumbo. You can also see that up here we have not in this location. If we tap over to not in this location, we'll see a list of other Susan MOOs and where they should be voting. But in this instance, the person that we looked up is in this location. We're going to continue. Now, shows up, voter is eligible to vote, but because we're testing this out, the voter is actually going to be asking for assistance. So instead of hitting the green button, we are going to go to more options, and the only option right now is request assistance. So we're going to tap on request assistance. Is the voter requesting assistance? Yes. And then the green button changes to process assistance. So we're going to process assistance. Did the voter bring someone to assist them? We're going to say yes. You are going to enter the name of the assistant. In this case, we're just going to call that person CP. Happens to be my initials. We're going to continue, and then it flips over. So at this point, you would flip the screen, turn it around so you can see it, and then the person providing assistance would sign in here. Ta-da. And there is a change language option. It's probably not something you're going to be using in Saratoga County right now. And they're going to hit done. You can also cancel out because red, opposite of green, sort of backs you out of things. Hit done. Flips back to you. You're going to make sure that that's all correct. You're going to hit continue. And then you are right back to where you started. It's changed back to get voter signature. It's just the normal voting process at this point. So you're going to hit get voter signature. It's going to flip back. The voter, not the person providing assistance, but the voter in this case, is going to sign. They're going to hit done. It's going to flip back to you. You are going to issue a ballot. You're You're going to initial. You're going to hit done. Remember, this should be done with one Democrat and one Republican in a sort of bipartisan fashion there. And then you're going to complete the check-in. And then you're going to process the next voter. However, before the next voter gets to you, Susan comes back and says, I made a mistake and needs to fix her ballot. So in this case, you're going to go to the menu, and you have the options here. You're going to spoil the ballot. You are going to search for the voter, same way you sort of searched for the voter when you were signing them in. So, MOOSUS. Going to search. You are going to select, and you are going to hit spoil. Reasons: we only spoil ballots if the voter is requesting it. Are you issuing another ballot? Yes, because we're spoiling the ballot. We don't spoil ballots and not reissue. We're going to hit continue. We're going to hit yes. So that brings us back to essentially the same sign-in process. They're going to sign again to get their next ballot. You're going to hit done. You're going to hit issue ballot, initial again, hit done, complete voter check-in, process next voter. You're back at the home screen. If you have any questions about really how to do this, if you don't feel comfortable, this is sort of our condensed e-pollbook training. So if you have any real questions about how things work for one reason or another, please just call us. It's 518-885-2249. So, other things you can do with the menu. It's the very early morning. Only one person has voted so far, and you've already got a poll watcher showing up, and they want to see who has voted already. Well, they can't touch the e-pollbook, but what you can show them is you can go to the check-in logs, and that will be a complete list of everyone who has voted so far today. In this case, it's just my mom and her reissued ballot. So they would be able to see everyone who has voted. Again, they can't actually touch this, but you can show it to them. Once you're done, you're just going to hit home, or you could hit back, because they're both going to take you to the exact same place, which is this home screen. The next person we're going to look up is going to be my boss, Commissioner William Frucci. So FRUWILL, search. And lo and behold, Commissioner Frucci pops up, but Commissioner Frucci lives in Mechanicville. So once you have a voter who is in the wrong place, you have a couple of options. You can either just say it's the wrong voter and search again. You can go back to the home screen if they already know that they're in the wrong place. Or you can redirect the voter. And if you're redirecting the voter, it will give you the information on where that voter should be voting. It will give you a map of how to get to where that voter should be voting. And you can pull up a list of directions as well. Once you've done all of that, taken care of the voter, you can close out, you can hit continue, and you can hit process next voter. If a voter already knows that they're not in the right place, you can also do the same thing through poll site lookup. You can look up their house. Because we've already told you where I live, we can just do my address. So my address is 6 Anyhow Lane. However, I'm not going to type in lane because for whatever reason that seems to give the system hookups. So we're just going to type in 6 Anyhow, ANYHOW. We're going to search. And we've got 6 Anyhow Lane, address is in the correct district, shows that it's in Gavin Park. We can either search again if we didn't find what we were looking for, or we can just hit the home button real quick. So day goes on, you keep processing voters, and then finally you come to the end of the night. So, we're going to go back to our menu, and because it's the end of the night and we can finally close up, it's after 9 o'clock, all the voters have left, we're going to hit log out. And this is the one instance where you are not going to follow the green path to continue, because the green path would just log you out temporarily. What we actually want to do is close the polls, so we're going to hit that yellow button, and it gives you a big warning. Are you certain you want to do this? Because once we do this, while we can get back in, it's a bit of a pain. So we really want to make sure that we are only closing it down once everything is done. And we're going to hit yes. And then we're going to get this list of processing voters. We're going to wait for everything to finally process out. If you have any questions about that, about why it's not processing, give us a call. And then we're going to hit home. And we should be back at this start screen. We are going to hold down that power button that I talked to you about in the morning. And when you do that, a screen like this is going to come up. We're just going to slide the power button down, and we'll be powered off and we'll be all set and good to go. One last thing before we go, we're going to talk about cleaning, because this is a bit of a weird election, so we want to make sure that things are getting wiped down and sanitized between elections. So, in your e-Pollbook case, you have a microfiber cloth. In with your election inspector supplies, you've got Sani wipes. So you're going to take your Sani wipe, you're going to open it up, tear it off, grab one of these. You're going to wipe down the screen, get any finger smudges, any leftovers from the voters whenever you have a break and can wipe things down. Not while you have a bunch of voters in line, but whenever you've got a break and can actually wipe things down and sanitize them. You're going to wipe them down with a Sani wipe, and you're going to grab your microfiber cloth, and you're going to gently dry off the screen. Keep the screen looking nice and pretty, and more importantly, keep the screen sanitized so you don't have any sort of community transmission going on. That's it for our class today. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to check out the other training videos in the series, and we'll be talking to you on Election Day.